Hello everyone, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program, in a brand new series on this channel that I have decided to call the Daily Kerbal. I have done a very brief 4-episode Hungarian series on Kerbal Space Program just to sort of introduce the game to the Hungarian gaming audience, but ever since I have started making videos, I obviously wanted to make videos in English too, just because I wanted to have views as well as, contributing to the Hungarian gaming scene as small as it happens to be. And many times I pose the question to myself, which game would I want to have a YouTube series on? Which is the game that I would enjoy playing the most? And honestly, the game that I have very fond memories of playing like a year or two after it first came out is Kerbal Space Program. I really enjoy this game. I am a space exploration nut. I really, really enjoy all things spacey, space exploration. This is the most, commonly known to be the most physically accurate representation of what actual space travel is like. And I figure that, it's been a while since I did an actual career mode for this game. So I actually played a genuine career mode that wasn't, sandbox or the science career mode back during the early access phase of the game. And I did play with the game after its release, obviously. I played a very brief career mode. I believe I did, like, a few unmanned flights to Duna was as far as I'd managed to get. And that was it. But that was a while ago. And since then, a bunch of new things have come out that I haven't really been able to utilize. Things like, I believe, the communications update was something that came out after I stopped playing this game. So I decided that I want to play a new career mode, and as long as I'm going to play it, I might as well record it, and I might as well put it up on the internet, just in case somebody else maybe finds some enjoyment in watching me play. Because there really is no reason for me not to do this. Anyway, I don't believe I don't have any saved games left, so let's just start a new game. Let's do a career mode. My flag is going to be the Kerbal Space Program, and I will call this Lemorack Career. That'll do. Let's check our difficulty options for a bit. As far as the basic stuff is concerned, normal's fine. Everything at 100%. Starting funds, sure. Allow reverting flights. If I was hardcore, I'd probably switch this off, but the thing is, I have played this game an awful lot, but I played it a long time ago. I'd rather not do that. Definitely allow quick loading. I could turn this off. So like, if I get to the point where there's really no point, seeing as I can revert flights anyway, but I mean, let's have some risk, some, incentive for me to want to bring my crews home from faraway flights. We don't need to do that. I don't need to do that either. And nah, we don't need stock vessels. We can do better than that. Yes, we'll have the comm network on. Entry purchase. But the new parts need to be unlocked with funds when tech nodes are unlocked. Ah, I see. Well, let's keep that off for now. It's part of the basic ones. And then what do we have on advanced? Enable Kerbal experience. Oh no, we want Kerbals to level up, obviously. No, we'll level them up when they get back. Allow negative funds. Sure. Let's keep that off. Part pressure limits, Kerbal G-force limits, resource transfer allows. Sorry for this whole option start. I just want to make sure that I get all this. I realize that I believe most of this is editable even after the game starts, but we'll just accept this the way it is for now, I guess. Quickly glancing over all these options, I think we're fine. So, I'm going to keep the Kerbal flag. Custom difficulty now. Sure, let's get going. This is going to be a pretty brief episode, considering we don't have a lot of options here at the start. Yeah, I don't need tutorials, thanks. I can figure it out. Here we are. Humble beginnings. Small buildings. Tiny launch pad. Tiny vehicle assembly building. I don't imagine that we have a lot of Kerbals. We have the basic four. Yeah, we have Jebediah, Bill, Bob, and Valentina Kerman, who are quadruplets, apparently, or Well, my knowledge of Latin numbers isn't large enough for me to determine just how many identical twins we have here. That's something that was never added to the game for some reason, was the editing of the names of Kerbals. I imagine that there are ini files or something that you can edit to get that done, but obviously, honestly, I just don't care that much. Anyway, let's check quickly to see what we have at our disposal. This is everything. We have a basic command module, command pod for a single astronaut, a solid fuel booster, and a parachute, as well as some mystery goo for science. Well, it's going to make designing our rocket very easy. Thank you, Werner von Kerman. Let's all just kind of keep quiet that you yourself chose to use slave labor to construct your V2 weapons back in Germany. Not hating on Werner von Braun. I understand that back then a scientist didn't really have much of a choice, but anyway. Oh yeah, that's right, we don't have stack decouplers yet, so let's just hope that parachute is strong enough to carry the weight of every single part that I'm going to put on this, which is admittedly not much. Just a pod and a solid fuel booster. Aerodynamics is pretty much unnecessary at this point, but we have winglets, so, you know, why not? Snap it to it, and can make it for quadrilateral. There we go. Looks like a rocket. The parachute and the rocket don't have to activate at the same time. Those are separate stages. What else did we have? We had an engine, we had no fuel tanks. We don't need that. We had a winglet, and I believe we had a science thingy, right? Yeah, we have a mystery goo container. Well, so at the beginning, I'm gonna be cheesing science a lot. I think I'm gonna be, you know, doing my best to maximize my science output, and in order to do that, I'm going to do some cheesy strats right at the very beginning. I believe the amount of mystery goo, I might as well just put 4 on here, but the amount that I'm going to need, like I get mystery goo science for using it on the launch pad, and then I'm also going to get some from various altitudes of flight. And I'm also going to get science from wherever it is that I land, assuming that where I land is not still on the launch pad, which it shouldn't be. But for now, I'm just going to do a very cheesy thing. We're going to call this pod the I forget the names of the planets. It should auto-save this, yeah. Okay, because the I'm going to do a funny little thing here where I'm going to start. It's not the astronaut complex, so I wanted to go here, check the archives. It's Moho. Okay. The original space program that launched Alan Shepard into space, if I'm not mistaken, that was still part of the Mercury program. Mercury being the first planet in the solar system, and, you know, a part of the Roman pantheon and everything. But I'm going to follow this. I'm going to follow this space exploration tradition of having my very first space program be called Moho 1. Moho 1 is, let's just get off the ground here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Jebediah Kerman be our first pilot. And literally all I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on the launch pad. Apologies in advance, by the way, if the audio is out of sync and I haven't watched the video yet. I did do some tests earlier on, but the audio tends to vary. So by episode 2, it should be better if it's not good right now. So I'm just literally going to leave this here on the launch pad. I'm going to take a mystery goo observation. I will keep that. I am going to take a crew report, and I will keep that. I don't know if this science cheesing is still necessary in this new system, like with all the changes that they made, but I'm going to do it anyway just because I like to maximize my science early on. And then I'm going to send Jebediah on an EVA, take an EVA report from the launch pad. And that is literally all I'm going to do. That was our first flight, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go back. I'm going to actually launch the vessel to end this episode. But just so that I don't have to worry about, you know, getting stuff off a checklist. And early on, that 6 science is, you know, you're like, really? All this fuss over 6 science? Well, I mean, Oh, great. We got accomplishments for doing an EVA test. All right, well, whatever. So if you just take a look at some of the science costs here, you know, you start out with 5 and with, you know, more than that. But, you know, these pretty tiny amounts are going to add up in the end, especially early on when our only source of science is going to be various biomes of Kerbin. We're not going to be able to get stuff from the moon until a while, so... I want to stress, by the way, if I didn't stress that at the beginning, I am not an expert at this game. I have seen people on YouTube who have, like, actual degrees in physics and, you know what the heck they're doing. Literally all I know is the stuff that I watched in documentaries, read in books and articles about the actual space programs that the Russians and the Americans did back during the moon exploration phase, and you know, some minor things that I pick up from NASA nowadays. But I'm not a physicist. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is literally my method of progressing through this game is trial and error. I'm going to spend some early research points to get that stuff. And I'm not actually going to use any of the pods yet because this thing didn't actually get the chance to take off. But what I am going to do is I am going to put a decoupler underneath it to separate the stages. Just, again, I'm not sure that the parachute can take the weight of this entire craft. It would be stupid if it couldn't, because why would they start you off with a literal only configuration that would kill your first astronaut, right? But no, we don't need to separate that. You can separate that afterwards there. So our actual first pilot is going to be Valentina Kerman. Jeb already got his first sit in the pilot seat. He's the Apollo 1 guy, right? Except no explosion. Okay, so I think 2 mystery goo is enough because this craft isn't going to get very high. It's going to get just high enough to get like a mystery goo sample in flight and a mystery goo sample on the ground, wherever it is that we land. We're only going to be able to take 1 crew report because I don't... Oh no, we have antenna. We have antenna. Excellent. Do we have that? We do not. Okay, I'm going to put a antenna on this thing. 1 antenna will be enough. Thank you very much. Not a fan of how the symmetry automatically snaps to whatever it is. I moved the symmetry onto the winglet for a second and it thought I wanted to put 4 antennas, which I didn't. Save this. Save the antenna on it, and then let's launch the vessel. Hopefully this is another, you know, me maximizing the science that I get out of this. I'm not sure if it's really worth the trouble. I just want to get the crew report because the pod can only contain 1 crew report at a time. So I want to keep the crew report, I want to transmit it, and then pick up a 2nd crew report from wherever it is that I land, just so I can maximize. So there's no point in SASing at this point, I don't think. There's no point in controlling throttle because this is a solid fuel booster. It's like lighting a stick of dynamite. It just burns with as much power as it has. So let's just set her off. Here we go. First vessel up into space. Let's tilt it a little bit just so that we don't end up landing exactly back where we started. Fuel is already out, and up we go. Take the crew report. Flying over Kerbin's shores. Sure, transmit that. How much electric charge does that use up? Why is it not transmitting? Review report. Transmit. No usable in-range comms device. What are you talking about? There's an antenna on it. Seriously? Oh, well, just observe the mystery goo then. Keep that as well. What am I getting wrong here? Why is the comm device not usable? And we have now started falling after 8,000 meters. All right, let's take care of all that. Separate the vessel. And deploy the parachute. It's going to be a slow descent. Meantime, why won't the review report? No usable in-range comms device on this vessel. That's the reason I put... What's wrong with this? Stop swinging so I can click on you. Extend antenna. Deployment would destroy part. Transmit data. Unable to deploy. It's not usable in atmosphere. Okay, I think I understand. Maybe I should have put the other antenna on it instead. Well, like I said, trial and error. Speed this up. Just bring the thing down. Using physics... Oh yeah, sure. This is 1 pod. We don't care. Bring her down. if memory serves, then the pod should... What's that? Oh, that's the rest of our parts. Where is it going? I saw a tiny shadow move by, and it was moving faster than we appeared to be moving, and I remembered, oh yeah, that's right, I went up with another bunch of stuff. Anyway, let's bring this thing down. Speeding up, so we don't have to worry about any of that. Come on. Come on. And I don't know if it's still the case where if you speed up too much close to ground, you just explode. So just in case that's still the case, I will slow down when we're beneath 100 meters. And touchdown. Perfect. Observe the mystery goo from wherever it is that we are. We are from KSC. Excellent. 3 science. Keep it. And how about now? Can we review the report and transmit it? Now we can transmit the data. There we go. Do we have enough energy to do it? We do. Perfect. So now I'm going to take a second crew report from KSC. It's another 1.5 science. Keep the experiment. Like I said, this is just me cheesing the science system at the beginning, but it's actually kind of required, I think, in order to make proper progress at the start. And let's recover the vessel. All right, and that ended us up with 28 total science. Pretty good. I mean, it's a humble beginning. We're starting out here with 100,000 Kerb dollars. I don't know, Kerbos. We'll call them Kerbos. I'm assuming that this is a European facility. Valentina got an experience. That is wonderful. And I'm going to cut that today. Hopefully I'm going to remember to keep doing this every day. Just, you know, some small Kerbal Space Programs episodes and, you know, me talking over them with various topics that I happen to have in my mind at the time. Us slowly working our way towards the moon to begin with, and then who knows? Let's just see how far we can get with this. I am not very experienced in you know, anything like beyond, say, Minmus, so I look forward to seeing how far I can get in this career mode, managing the actual career aspects of the game as well as the scientific and actual spaceflight versions of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, then feel free to hit either the like button or the dislike button if you feel like you were let down. And if you're interested in seeing more of this, then subscribe, and videos that I upload in the future will appear in your inbox. Keep in mind that I do make Hungarian videos from time to time too. If you're not part of the Hungarian audience, then you're probably not going to get much enjoyment out of those, but all my Hungarian videos are very clearly tagged as Hungarian, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and hope to see you again in the future. Bye-bye.